Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of my Top Hat Skeleton video series, if you want to call it a series. I'm just working through this journal, trying to do as much as I can on camera while not boring you to death like inking and things like that. So the next part that I was going to do was this paper bag that originally looked like this little mini paper bag, and I grunged it up with a vintage photo and black soot and tore the bottom off right here. I just opened it up very carefully and tore this part here. Let me do this. And here. Okay. And then I have a little envelope here. And then I'm gonna put a pocket here, and there's a pocket here, and then I'm gonna put it on the page as a tuck. So I already did all the inking. I inked the background a little bit. I did some stitching and stuff offline. I got this backed onto 2 pieces of cardstock to use as my little envelope closure here, little tuck closure for this piece to tuck under. But this piece is too weak to slide under well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some book pages here. I'm going to glue. Do I want to glue those down, or do I just, yeah, I better, just for the extra reinforcement. But I am going to trim these little edges off. Turn it this way. I'm going to trim just to the side this little extra flap off. Use book page. I might have to use 2 layers of book page. We'll see. Let me get this glued down. And besides that, it is pretty gluey under here from the original manufacturer, and some book pages will hide some of that glossy grunginess. Let's see. This part. So I'm going to cut off that edge. Figure out how wide I think I need it. Should be good. Crooked. See how well we did. Pretty good. glue that into there. So I probably can fold it again just to get rid of, should I double it? I should probably double it. So doubling it made it a little bit tighter fit. Just need to trim a little bit off the edge. So I'm gonna glue this together. I'm gonna go ahead and ink these little edges up because once I get it in there, those are gonna be hard to ink. The other, well, I'm gonna cut it off, aren't I? I am gonna cut it off a little bit. I'm just kind of squishing and squeezing at the same time as I am inking to get a little bit of a grungy look on this. So the first thing I'm going to glue in is this little part that I'm going to slip down inside of that envelope. A little too far. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to glue these flaps down. Trim this off. And then refold this piece. I need to trim a little bit more off of this edge. And now I can ink this edge up where I trimmed it. And I'm going to use a little bit of vintage photo and then use a little bit of black soot. I'm going to fold this out. Make sure I'm still on my lane. Just so I can get in here and ink just a little bit. Okay. Then That is a lot more stable. So now I have this piece that I'm going to glue about to where this line is here on the actual piece itself. Maybe a little bit higher than that. So I'm going to glue that down, and it leaves a little opening on this side. To take and tuck under that end of that envelope. This needs to dry pretty well. Put a little more glue back here. This needs to dry well before you permanently affix that envelope underneath it and let it sit, because it'll continue to pull until this glue is dried really well. What I do a lot of times is I'll put a book on top of it so that it can dry. And then here, I'm just going to glue these edges. I don't recommend stitching this edge here that I'm gluing, because if you do, and then later on you want to put something in here and have it still open all the way, if you stitch this down, it's only going to open this much. So I tend not to stitch the sides of these little bags, although I've never made a little envelope at the bottom of one. Okay. There's that. And then I'm going to take this whole piece and put it on here as a little tuck spot back here. That's the plan. So I'm going to glue along the outside edge and the bottom. Sorry, I was off camera again. And then I'm gonna put it in here. And again, at this point, normally what I do is set a book on top of it for a little bit and let it really hold this down, because sometimes these brown paper bags, they're a little bit slick, and sometimes they have a hard time sticking. I got some glue right there, sticking down and drying well. So then what I'm going to, I decided what I would do is I would use these envelopes, and I went ahead and stitched around one. I just stitched around each piece and inked it up. And I am going to use one to put back here. And I still need to decorate these. So I have these stamps that Artymaze gave out as a freebie this year, as part of her Halloween collection this year, on her Facebook and Friends. Nope, on her Artymaze and Friends Facebook page. So I'm going to use one of these stamps. Which one am I going to use? And I'm using these fabric scissors. I know I'm gonna make 2 envelopes because I always seem to like having at least 2 of each kind of envelope that I use in a journal. To me, it just seems a little unbalanced if I don't. I like this guy better. So I'm going to use him, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount him onto a piece of coffee dyed paper. I'm going to ink around him a little bit. Use the lighter paper. I'm just going to put him on here so that I can tear him out, tear around him. As if he's been torn off of another envelope. Right? Kind of cool. Ink this up a little bit. As you can see, I'm going to be using a lot of ink in this journal. I don't know why, I just think it needs to be grungier, maybe just for fun. Sometimes it's fun just to make things look grungier. So then I'm gonna glue this piece on. I still want something over here too. I think I need to print some more of the larger top hat. The larger top hat skeleton that I have on the front. I think I need to print some more of those to use on these envelopes. I think he would look really cool on these. So I'm just gonna glue that on. And then I have a meal stamp that I'm going to use. Looks like this. There we go. Looks better already, right? So, I haven't put anything in here yet, but I know for sure these guys, one of these guys is going here. So, I need to put something here, which needs to be different than I used. Okay. So let's use one of these county coroner tags. And this one I'll probably just run a string through. that hole out. And it still needs to be backed. So I will just back this onto some coffee dyed paper. And then I have this ratty looking string here. So this will be the string that I use for this little coroner's tag. It was rattier than what I thought it was. Get it through this way. So after I back it, then that'll go in there, kind of like that. And then let's see which guy I want to use for this page. Should have a stash, right? Should totally be that guy. Okay. So I'm gonna use him. I still need to put a little eyelet on these. I stitched some more while I was waiting on the last video to upload. Straight. Straight. And I will put a little eyelet on him, and he can go in there. And then I will need to make something or find something to go into this pocket. I don't have any long pieces made right now. And then still need to find something to put into this pocket as well. So let's see what I have. Some more corners tags. Maybe this little piece of ephemera. A little bit small. Like this piece. That piece. And I'll back it and ink it up. Back it with coffee dyed paper and ink it up, and then it can live in there. And that is that page. And then I will be back with another video working on another page. All right, thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate everybody's support. Hope you guys have a nice afternoon.